Hallo, en vandag bespreek ek met julle die tye. Onthou ook om te kyk tot die einde van die video vir wenke hoe om jou eie maskers te maak. Geniet! Goeiemôre graad 10's en welkom by vandag se les. Vandag gaan ek werkwoorde bespreek, maar ons kan nie oor werkwoorde praat sonder om te praat oor die tye van die werkwoord wat die verlede tyd, toekomende tyd en die teenwoordige tyd is nie. So you can't treat that verbs as something separate. We are going to discuss it while we are doing the tenses in Afrikaans. So without wasting any time, let's start. Okay. Goed. Die tye in Afrikaans. Ons het 3 tye in Afrikaans. Die verlede tyd, teenwoordige tyd en die toekomende tyd. Now, what do I do if I see this kind of question in the exam? First, we read the sentence. We underline the verb or verbs, maybe there's more than one. If there's a conjunction, we are going to circle it. And that example of bullet number 3, we are going to do when the school opens again. I will discuss this with you guys in class. And the 4th bullet, if there is an infinitive in the sentence, that means if we have the words and te and a verb, that's infinitive, we are going to circle the whole infinitive. And usually that is at the end of a sentence as well. I'll say again, how do I approach this question in the exam? What steps do I need to take? First, we read the sentence. Underline the verbs. If there's a conjunction, we're going to circle it. Like I said, we're going to discuss that further in class, so it's fine. And then if there's infinitive, we make a whole circle around the infinitive. So if you don't know it now, if you do not understand, then it's fine. We're going to discuss it in the class as well. Yes, does anyone have a question? Yes, somebody's mic is on. Does anybody have a question for me? Goed, without further ado, let's start. Verlede tyd. We all know the verlede tyd is the past tense. We all know that. Okay, this is a few tips and tricks. If there's a normal verb like eet and slaap, we're going to put a het and a ge. That's the easy one from grade 4. We all know how to do it. James vat sy tas. James het sy tas gevat. Dit is baie maklik. Almal kan dit doen. Very easy. Sometimes what you guys forget is bullet number 2. Verbs that start with her, be, ont, ver, ge, mis. Does not get a ge. It gets a het, but not a ge. Words like vergeet, onthou, misverstaan, beperk, herwin. Verbs that start with these ones do not get a ge in the past tense. It only get a het. Okay, we'll do one of those examples in the activities we are going to do as well as in the class test on Google Classroom. Then another one that's quite easy is verander na was. Even in English it's the same, is changed to was. Then what do we do if there is already a het in the sentence, but it's not a past tense sentence? For example, sy het 'n masker, she has a mask. It's not a past tense, dis nie verlede tyd nie. Sy het 'n masker, she has a mask. Now, you might think, oh, there's a het that tell us it is past tense. No. Then we are going to add the word gehad. Sy het 'n masker gehad. Can you see the whole sentence stayed the same? I just added the word gehad and that made it past tense. So that rule only applies if there is already a het in the sentence. Sy het 'n masker, sy het 'n masker gehad. That is like a little trick that they will try and trick you with in their test. Dan, is daar 'n voorsetsel aan die einde van 'n sin? Is there a preposition at the end of the sentence? Look at the example. James tel sy masker op. Op is a preposition. If there's a preposition at the end, we are going to leave it at the end, put a ge next to it, and the verb. What was the verb? Tel. Tel. Tel is die werkwoord. James het, we still put the word het, sy masker opgetel. Now, preposition ge, verb, one word. Preposition ge, verb, one word. Voorsetsel ge, werkwoord is een woord. Dit is baie, baie belangrik dat jy dit moet onthou. Dan, I'm just going to repeat that again. If there's a preposition at the end, so not just anywhere in the sentence, at the end, aan die einde van die sin, sê ons, preposition, ge, werkwoord. Voorsetsel, ge, werkwoord. Aan die einde van die sin, en dit is een woord. I'm going to ask that in the class test as well. Make sure you go through these notes again. Wat doen ons as daar twee werkwoorde is in die sin? Now, this one confuse you guys a lot. What do we do if there's two verbs? In other words, in Stompie, there's a verb 1 and a verb 2. What do we do now? For example, ek hoor die musiek speel. Ek hoor die musiek speel. Change, we're also going to put in a het. Ek het die musiek gehoor speel. You put the two verbs at the end. Do you see? Now this rule applies to a lot of other aspects in Afrikaans as well. Whenever there's two verbs, both of them go to the end. And the verb 1 stands first and then verb 2 at the end of the sentence. We'll practice more of these as well. Dan die teenwoordige tyd. We all know that is present tense, teenwoordig, it's happening now. And we use words like is. It's usually the sentences that are the easiest to do because we will take out het, we will take out ge if there is, we will take out sal. So this is quite easy to do. On the notes, I did not type out exactly how do you do it, but I'm going to explain it now. Dis can be dit is. So that's another way they can trick you in a sentence. Dis 'n mooi dag. Remember, it actually says dit is. So that is something to remember, especially when you have to change a present tense sentence into maybe a past tense. So dit is will change, this will change, this, sorry, I apologize. This, which actually means dit is. So, dis 'n mooi dag, dit was 'n mooi dag. Because is changed to was. So that is a very, very tricky one. Be warned. I like it. I'm going to ask it in a class test. Ek dra my masker. These are just examples of present tense sentences. Ek dra my masker. Die meisie word 'n dokter. Ek tel my masker op. Ek moet my masker dra. Ek kan my masker dra. En ek het 'n mooi masker. Now, this is not on the notes, so you have to listen carefully now. Carefully. Okay. Now we have a past tense sentence. Now in the past tense, who can tell me, you can put your mic on, who can tell me what kind of words am I going to find in the past tense? What words will indicate to me something's in the past tense? Anybody want to try?
Ge.
Baie mooi. The word ge, het and ge will indicate to us something's in the past tense. So, as ek sê, verander die sin van die teenwoordige tyd, van die verlede tyd na die teenwoordige tyd, then I'm going to take out a few things. I'm going to take out het, and I'm going to take out ge. Where is that ge verb now have to move?
To the end of the sentence.
It's already at the end, the ge verb, in the past tense. Now it moves to present tense. Where does it need to go?
Before, after the subject.
After the subject, it
Like
takes
in the
the
beginning.
place. Yes, thank you very much. It takes the place of verb 1. Let me think of an example. Sy het 'n masker gedra. Sy het 'n masker gedra.
Sy dra 'n masker.
Sy dra 'n masker. Mooi. We take out het, we take out ge. Now, we have a future tense sentence. Sy sal 'n masker dra. What do we take out now? To make
Sal.
it present tense. Sal. We take out sal. And what do we replace sal with?
The werkwoord.
Met die werkwoord dra. Baie mooi. Sy dra 'n masker. So changing any sentence to the present tense is actually very easy. Is eintlik baie maklik. Ek gaan dit definitief vir jou vra in die klastoets, hoor. Dan sinne in die toekomende tyd, future tense. There's quite a lot of notes about it. There will be 2 verbs. Sal, which is verb 1, and a verb. Sorry, I'm just gather my thoughts. I lost my train of thought quickly. Sal is verb 1, and there will be another verb at the end of the sentence. Sy sal 'n masker dra. Change from the present tense to the future tense. Ek dra 'n masker. Ek sal 'n masker dra. Ek word 'n dokter. Ek sal 'n dokter word. Ek tel my masker op. Ek sal my masker optel. Now, do you remember with the past tense, I told you if there's a preposition at the end, it stays at the end. We put a ge in a verb. Now the same rules apply, but obviously this is a different tense, so we don't put in ge, but still the verb moves to the end. So the same rules apply. The preposition stays at the end. Remember, preposition in Afrikaans is a voorsetsel. Die voorsetsel staan aan die einde van die sin en die werkwoord. Ek sal my masker optel. Ek moet my masker dra. Ek sal my masker moet dra. So that's what you need to do if there's a moet in the sentence. It goes to the end with the verb. Ek gaan my masker dra. Gaan, going to change to sal. Ek sal my masker dra. Goed. Dan, hoe word die tye getoets? How do we test this work in the exam? What does a question look like in the exam? Skryf die sin in die verlede tyd. Skryf die sin in die toekomende tyd. Skryf die sin in die teenwoordige tyd. So that is the ways we ask it in the test. Alright? Let's do it together. Die juffrou maak die klas skoon. Daai sin, die juffrou maak die klas skoon, is in die teenwoordige tyd. It is in the present tense and they tell us change it into the past tense. Die juffrou het die klas skoon gemaak. Skoon gemaak is one word, not because skoon is a preposition, but because skoon en maak is something we call in Afrikaans a deeltjie werkwoord. Deeltjie means part, a klein deeltjie, little part. 'n deeltjie werkwoord is a verb that we can split in a sentence. We can put it in different places in the sentence, but you can also put them together to make a verb. So skoonmaak. Jy moet die klas skoonmaak. That is a verb. Juffrou maak die klas skoon. Dit is 'n deeltjie werkwoord. So that is why we put them together. And that is just a little bit of interesting information why it is one word. Sy gaan dokter toe. Sy het dokter toe gegaan. Skryf die sinne in die toekomende tyd, future tense. 'n Skool moet die klasse skoonmaak. Toekomende tyd, 'n skool sal die klasse moet skoonmaak. Remember, if there's a moet, it still comes at the end of the sentence, like in verb 1's place, and the verb that was already at the end stays at the end. Sy gaan dokter toe. Sy sal dokter toe gaan. Skryf die sinne in die teenwoordige tyd, die present tense. I told you this one is the easiest. Take out het, take out ge, take out sal. And then move the verb. Sy het 'n masker in haar tas gehad. Sy het 'n masker in haar tas. Look at this tricky one. Because it have a gehad, that tells us it's a past tense one. But we must not take out the het. Sy het 'n masker in haar tas. So that is a tricky one. If there's a gehad at the end, remember, that's the only thing we're going to take away. Dis al wat ons gaan wegvat. Die dokter sal my help. Die dokter help my. En dit is dit. That is the easiest part of Afrikaans is the tenses. This is very easy to do in a test. Does anyone have a question for me about this work I've discussed now?